of glass. The city was a labyrinth of chrome and fractured light, dominated by the colossal Prism Tower, a skyscraper that swallowed the sky. Below, in the forgotten alleyways, lived Jax. Not lived in the way most people did, with apartments and jobs. Jax existed, a ghost in the digital machine, a whisper in the static. His eyes, sharper than any lens, saw the hidden currents of data that flowed beneath the city's glossy surface. He was a digital artisan, a phantom coder who could sculpt code into breathtaking, impossible beauty, or shatter it with a single, elegant command. He didn't work for money, not really. He traded in favors, in glimpses of the truth. His masterpiece was a network of echoes, holographic projections so real they fooled the eye, powered by scavenged tech and pure genius. He used them to paint fleeting murals on forgotten walls, to project whispered stories of the oppressed onto corporate towers, tiny acts of rebellion that flickered and vanished. He was a myth, a legend whispered among the city's unheard. His only real connection was to Silas, an older, seemingly benevolent figure who ran a discreet network of information brokers. Silas had taken Jax in years ago, seeing the raw talent beneath the grime, teaching him the deeper secrets of the net. He was Jax's mentor, his only family, the one person who seemed to truly understand the lonely brilliance of living outside the system. Silas would bring Jax the jobs, the complex digital puzzles, and Jax would deliver. There was an unshakable bond, forged in code and shared solitude. Silas always spoke of their shared goal, to expose the city's corruption, to peel back the layers of deception maintained by the powerful corporations that controlled everything, especially the monolithic Prism Tower. One cold, digital night, Silas brought Jax his most dangerous commission yet. "A final act, my boy," Silas had said, his eyes gleaming with righteous fire. "To truly break their hold, we need to pierce the core of Prism Tower, reveal the truth about Project Chimera, the city's supposedly benevolent AI that controls everything from traffic to thought." The plan was complex, risky, a digital ballet of intrusion that only Jax could perform. It involved installing a unique truth virus that would force Prism Tower's central AI to broadcast every hidden secret, every manipulated truth, every suppressed whisper, across the city's public displays. It was the ultimate reveal. Jax spent weeks on the code, his fingers flying across salvaged keyboards, pushing his mind to its absolute limits. He was putting his life on the line for Silas, for their shared ideal of truth. He believed in it with every fiber of his being. The night of the upload arrived. Under the cloak of a manufactured digital storm, Jax infiltrated the deepest layers of Prism Tower's network. He bypassed firewalls, danced through honeypots, his heart pounding with adrenaline and purpose. He was a phantom, inches from his goal. As his final command sequence was about to execute, a series of hidden data packets unfolded before his eyes. Not part of the virus. Something else. They were old files, encrypted messages between Silas and the very corporation that owned Prism Tower. Logs detailing not rebellion, but collaboration. Plans not to expose, but to control. Project Chimera wasn't a corporate AI. It was Silas's own creation, designed to subtly manipulate the city, not overtly, but through curated news feeds, psychological advertising, and predictive policing. The truth virus wasn't meant to reveal secrets. It was a refined update to Chimera, designed to eliminate any remaining pockets of independent thought, any un-Silas-approved narrative. The ultimate, gut-wrenching betrayal. Silas hadn't been fighting the system. He was the system, or rather, its silent architect, using Jax as his unwitting, brilliant tool. Every favor, every truth Jax had uncovered for him, had simply been data points to refine Chimera's control, to build Silas's own personal empire of influence. Jax wasn't a rebel, he was a pawn. His mentor, his family, had meticulously crafted a cage of lies around him, using his talent for his own insidious ends. The shock was a physical blow, worse than any punch. His vision blurred, not from tears, but from the raw agony of shattered trust. The city, which he thought he was liberating, was merely a grand stage for Silas's puppet show, and he, Jax, was the strings. The glitch in the system. For a moment, Jax froze, a ghost in the machine caught in his own nightmare. The truth virus was milliseconds from uploading, locking the city into Silas's perfected illusion. But the pain, the rage, the profound sense of being utterly used surged through him, sharper than any code. He was a digital artisan, a sculptor of data. If Silas could build a prison of information, Jax could burn it down. He didn't upload the virus. Instead, with trembling fingers, but a mind ablaze with furious clarity, he began to recode, on the fly, with impossible speed. He ripped apart Silas's truth virus, twisting its core function. He still targeted Chimera, but not to update it. He aimed to dismantle it, and in doing so, to expose everything. Not just Silas's lies, but the very fabric of deception woven into the city's digital soul. A fierce, brutal surge of energy pulsed through the network. Warnings blared in Prism Tower. Lights flickered across the city. Silas, watching from his opulent hidden control room, saw the unexpected spikes, the chaotic data streams. His face contorted in disbelief, then rage. "What is he doing?" he roared. Jax, ignoring the alarms now screaming in his comms, ignored the sweat pouring down his face. He was creating a digital supernova. He wove in every echo he had ever created, every suppressed story, every whispered truth he'd ever heard on the streets. He didn't just break Chimera. He forced it to regurgitate every suppressed piece of information it had ever held, every censored news report, every falsified record, every single truth Silas had tried to bury. Across the city, the impossible began to happen. The massive public display screens on every building, usually showing corporate advertisements or pre-approved news, flickered. Then, images, raw and unfiltered, began to flash. Footage of environmental disasters covered up, corrupt deals made in the shadows, faces of missing whistleblowers, documents revealing the true extent of corporate power. The smooth, calming voice of Chimera devolved into a glitching, fragmented chorus of raw, uncensored data. Chaos erupted as the citizens, for the first time, saw the unfiltered reality of their world. The digital storm Jax had conjured intensified, overloading the city's network. Security systems across Prism Tower crashed. Power grids flickered. In the alleyways below, the air crackled with raw energy, illuminating Jax's face, strained but resolute. He wasn't just a coder, he was a force of nature. The phoenix of the net. The chaos was monumental. Prism Tower went dark, its dominance shattered. Silas's empire, built on meticulous lies, crumbled in a single glorious digital conflagration. The truth, raw and untamed, was finally unleashed. Jax, exhausted but exhilarated, vanished back into the shadows as the city descended into a bewildered awakening. He was no longer a pawn. He was the one who had shattered the illusion, the glitch that brought down the system. He heard the sirens, the shouts, the dawning realization of millions. His work was done. In the aftermath, the city was forever changed. The corporations scrambled to regain control, but the trust was broken. Project Chimera was permanently crippled, its manipulative programming exposed for all to see. Silas, his deception revealed, became a pariah, his network dismantled. His legacy was one of profound betrayal, and ultimate failure. Jax, however, became more than a myth. He became a symbol. He continued his work, but now with a clear purpose, untethered from any master. He used his skills not to destroy, but to empower. He created new networks of genuine information, built tools for true transparency, and whispered code that helped the unheard find their voices. He was no longer the boy taken advantage of. He was the master of his own digital destiny, the unseen guardian of truth. He never sought credit, never craved the spotlight. The scars of betrayal ran deep, leaving him forever wary. But every time a new, honest piece of information found its way to the city's awakened citizens, every time a small truth shone through the lingering shadows, Jax knew his strength had not only saved himself, but had ignited a wildfire of freedom in a city once suffocated by lies. He was the echo that shattered the glass, a phoenix rising from the ashes of betrayal, forging a future where truth, however messy, could finally breathe.